Sales interview questions and answers. If you watch the duration of this video, I promise you're gonna feel more comfortable and confident to go find your dream job in sales and really execute on that interview that you're eventually gonna have to do. So many of you reach out to me in the comments below and on LinkedIn saying, Trent, what's the best way to prepare for my upcoming sales interview? First off, it's really gonna depend based on the company you're interviewing for, but universally across the board, I've identified 5 questions based on doing some research that I'm gonna help provide thoughts on how you can answer it. Tell me about you and why are you a good fit for this sales role? If successful, how much time would you spend cultivating customer relationships versus searching for new leads and clients? Question number 3, if we hired you in this sales position, what would you do in your first month working here? Question number 4, how do you handle customer objections? That's a big one. Question number 5, what's the best way to establish a relationship with the prospective client or customer? I'm gonna walk through some suggestions on how you can answer these questions and just give you more clarity into what these mean. Make sure to hit the like button below if you're enjoying this content and subscribe to the channel. I make daily sales videos. I've been doing it for over 30 days straight. I was an SDR for 2 years. Now I'm an account executive in software sales. I actually help run interviews for my company, more culture-based interviews for Qualtrics. So make sure to go apply for Qualtrics. We have openings all across the country. And I promise you, I'm not trying to pitch you Qualtrics. There's a lot of great sales jobs out there. So I know what to look for. And the first piece of advice I would give you in preparation for your interview is really do your homework. I know that this is self-explanatory, but if it's a public company, there's no excuse as to why you're not reading the 10K prior to the interview. My company, Qualtrics, we just went public and we filed, I think it's an S1, and it's essentially a letter to investors, and it identifies our strategy, our products, our position in the market. If that information is publicly available, go read that and you will automatically be differentiated from all the other candidates. Believe me, that will set you apart from a product, industry, knowledge about the company. On the other side of that, in the interview, something I would suggest you to do is if you really want it, if you're showing up just to check the box, make the rounds, go do all the interviews with the top tech companies, the recruiter's gonna pick up on that and they're gonna feel like you don't truly care. So make sure if you really want it, ask them, say, hey, just know I really want the job. I really want to work here. These are the reasons why I'm uniquely qualified to do it. And make sure to understand the value statements. Tie the value. Say, hey, you really value transparency and communication. Based on my past internship experience, here's an example of how I exemplified that in person. That will be impactful. The third one, if you have the opportunity to reach out to people at the company beforehand, do so. If you're interviewing for an SDR, BDR, or AE role, there's no reason why you shouldn't reach out to existing SDR, BDR, AEs at that company, set up time with them and say, hey, impressive career, I like what you're up to, I'd love to be like you one day. Could we set up some time? I'm actually interviewing next week. Could you help me understand any information you think would be helpful about your experience or how I can stand out? And also learn from them if you think that they would even be a good fit for you. Don't be the needy person going into these interviews. Of course, you want the job, but make sure they are the right partner for you as well. I'm gonna cover these 5 questions now. Let me take a breath because I'm talking awfully fast. Okay, I'm gonna read off my computer because I've wrote down some notes here based on my research. So excuse me if I'm looking down, but I'm gonna be talking through it. Tell me about why are you a good fit for this role, and tell me about you. You wanna sound organic, you wanna sound natural, you wanna sound passionate, but overall, detail strong reasons as to why you're a good fit for the role. Talk about your past experiences in the context of the values and mission of the company, and I think that will really be impactful and show that you've done your research. Question number 2, if successful, how much time would you spend cultivating customer relationships versus searching for new leads? If you are an account executive, this will be more relevant. If you're an SDR, maybe not so much, but spend more time cultivating customer relationships. It's gonna be easier to sell somebody who is already spending with your company. It's much easier and cheaper to sell an existing customer than to acquire a new customer. Just something to think about there. And also say, hey, I'm gonna have an innovative strategy to come in. This is how I'm gonna come in and generate new business. I'm gonna prioritize my top accounts based on revenue, whatever else is important, my buyer personas, and start selling sooner rather than later. Question number 3, if we hired you in the sales position, what would you do your first month of working here? You could take this in a lot of different ways. Make sure to be confident and answer that you're gonna show up and intend to do whatever it takes to get the job done. A lot of candidates won't have a clue on what to do, so make sure based on your prior research on the company strategy, talk to that, speak to that, say, hey, your objectives are to increase revenue by 40% year over year. This is how I'm gonna come in and help you do that. Make sure to, one, like we said, know about the products, know about the services, and tie it all together. Question number 4, how do you handle customer objections? Being able to handle objections in sales is vital to your success and the company's success. If you can't handle objections, you're gonna have a really tough time. I get rejected a lot making cold calls. I get rejected a lot after I do proposals. That comes with the territory, so make sure you're ready for that and express that you're willing to come in and learn and do whatever it takes to get the job done. My advice is really just say that, hey, you don't wanna just say I have a good mindset, but make sure that just talk to your experience. Say, hey, based on this, I've been rejected before. Here's a story in which I overcame and succeeded as a result. Question number 5, what's the best way to establish a relationship with a prospective client or customer? It's gonna start off with trust. Make sure to show the recruiter or the person interviewing you that they can trust you. And if they feel that, make sure that then will be reciprocated to the customers and the prospective clients of that company. It starts with building trust. And then next, it all comes down to having that plan, really to be able to go out and generate pipeline, whether it's cold calling, emailing, identifying your top accounts, using the internal, external ecosystem, whatever it takes, that's what it's gonna require of you to go in and generate the pipeline and start selling deals. I hope that this video was helpful. I know we rushed through it, but I really value your time. I really value your attention, and I value your feedback. So I hope that this was helpful in some way. If you got some value out of this video and you're still with me, make sure to hit a like, drop a like, hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. My goal is 10,000 by the end of the year. I'm gonna continue making videos each and every day until I get there, so your support's gonna help me and mean the world to me. So thanks again for watching. As a side note, if you're still with me, I know that you want a job in sales, software sales, and I know you like money. Go check out my recent videos that are really popular. Software sales salaries and why they make so much. How much does a sales development representative make? And then finally, how much do I make in my software sales job? Go check out these 3 videos. I think you'll get a lot of value from them as well. And let me know what you think.